Hey guys, it's Victoria and welcome back to FemmeHead. Today I want to do my second trimester recap because I am now officially in my third trimester. I am 28 and a half weeks right now, 7 months pregnant, 28 and a half weeks, and I'm feeling fine. I'm feeling great. I tried to brainstorm the symptoms, changes in my body, kind of my must-haves, and then overall thoughts. So the first thing is peeing a lot. Obviously, you want to drink a lot of water and be adequately hydrated when you're pregnant, but oh my gosh, when they say that pregnant women pee a lot, it is no joke. Recently, Michael and I were like hanging out, having a slow morning, and I was going to the bathroom every like 2 minutes. And at one point, I was like, I feel like I've gone to the bathroom 12 times and like you literally have not moved because you haven't had to go to the bathroom. He's like, yeah, you're peeing a lot. A new thing, actually it's not even new because it started in my first trimester, but was out of breath. I feel like I am constantly out of breath. Any sort of physical exertion, like walking to a back room and back here, I feel like I'm like, obviously it's because my lungs are getting squeezed and there's just hormones that make you feel out of breath. Exhausted from minimal effort. And I found that I've needed to start taking naps again. I find that if I walk at any sort of speed beyond a crawl, and if it's more than just a few blocks, my stomach will tighten up, and I'm pretty sure it is Braxton Hicks. I asked my midwife about it 2 days ago, and I'm pretty sure that's what she said. She wasn't concerned about it. She said as long as it's not painful, as long as it doesn't feel like actual contractions with any sort of like pattern to it, you're fine. But yeah, it gets really tight and it doesn't hurt. It's like a reminder, and you're like, okay, take it easy, like don't push yourself, you know. And my stomach has always been very low, and so it puts a lot of pressure on like my bladder, and I think my baby's head down again, so that's even more pressure. And they like to jab my cervix with their arms or something. So yeah, if I can't walk a mile, there's some issues. So there's that. I've started to get a little bit of lower back pain, but I feel like that's normal and it comes with the territory, and I'm not really concerned about it. It's not anything that's like excruciating or keeps me from doing anything. It's just every now and then you'll get like a dull pain of like, yeah, I can tell I'm carrying some extra weight. Recovery from physical activity takes longer. So if I do help at something where I'm like on my feet and not really lifting stuff, but like moving around a bunch, I'm getting shoulders in the stomach. It tuckers me out. We had a big women's race 2 weekends ago. One day was setup day. So the second day was packet pickup and the 5K at night. And then third day was the half marathon. And that Sunday night, after day 3 of that, I fell asleep at 6 p.m. and I didn't wake up till 6:30 a.m. And then I probably took a 3 to 4 hour nap the next day. And I was just exhausted. Like it was a Monday. I didn't get anything done because I was knackered. I get hot. I am normally so cold. I'm always bundled up in like a sweater and hats and gloves. I feel like I'm just generally a hotter person now, and I don't need to bundle up as much to go outside when it's chillier, and I overheat easily. But yeah, I'll get overheated and then that will make me nauseous, and that's kind of been one of my second trimester things. I can't eat as much in one going, but I still try to, and then I make myself sick. Not all the time, like I've gotten a lot better at it, but sometimes I get really excited about food and I can't, like I have to do it in a couple goes, like take a break in between to digest a little bit because it will make my stomach sick. A little bit of round ligament pain, that was much more at the beginning of the trimester. It's not so much anymore. I would get it at the very bottom of my belly, kind of by my hips where, you know, your uterus is, till it was stretching. I've been feeling so much movement, lots of movements, kicks, punches, rolls, elbows, cervix punches, like I said. I felt the first movements of baby at the tail end of 13 weeks. So I've had an entire 3 months, an entire trimester of movement, and it's the most reassuring, cool thing in the world. It started by, it felt like tiny bubbles popping, gradually changed to like someone tapping very lightly to, you know, more aggressively, and now I can definitely feel, I don't know if it's shoulder rolls, elbow rolls, jabs, kicks, all sorts of things, and it's so cool. And like my stomach will like morph and move, and it's the craziest thing, but it's super cool. I will lose my train of thought. I will forget what I'm doing. I will walk into a room and be like, what was I doing? What did I come in here for? And I feel like I'm normally very sharp and my memory is very good, and I'm always like, yeah, this is where this is go, this is exactly what I'm doing. And now I just feel like I'm like, la la la, what am I supposed to be doing? Ooh, my sense of smell. Things smell nasty. And I feel like I'm just more sensitive or hyper aware of things. Probably 2 weeks ago, in the kitchen, something smells like it is rotting over here and I could not figure it out. The only food that was over there were some pasta noodles, like Michael's protein powder, oatmeal, a bag of potatoes. And I was like, I literally bought these potatoes 2 days ago. It's not that. Like, is there a dead mouse or something in here? I could not figure it out. And then a day or two later, I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna look at the potatoes because that's the only thing that could be going bad in here. And sure enough, I pulled it out and one potato in the brand new bag had gone bad and started rotting and I could smell it. I'm getting that nesting vibe. The other day, I went grocery shopping and I was like, I'm gonna clean out the fridge, I'm gonna wipe down the shelves and everything. And Michael came into the kitchen. I'm like vacuuming out the drawers. And he's like, I think you've entered into the stage of pregnancy called nesting. And I was like, what? I just want to get everything settled, but I can't. I don't have everything I need. Not that you need a bunch of stuff. I'm kind of in limbo right now. Ooh, I've been getting calf cramps the past probably month when I wake up. Not every day, but you know that initial kind of like, ugh, stretch you do when you wake up in the morning? I will get killer calf cramp. I'll have to just like flex my leg, unflex and flex my ankle to kind of like get my calf to loosen up. And the last thing I have under like the symptoms category is sometimes if I lay down or recline deeply after a meal, it feels like some sort of like bile or reflux or something is coming back up in my throat. So I'm like, I need to sit up again. Because sometimes we'll watch like The Office or something in bed after dinner. And I'm like, I have to sit up or else like it just feels like it's coming back up, you know? So body things. This is a very interesting category because I was so curious about how my body would change. The first thing is I don't know how to pronounce it. The belly line, the linea, it's very light and faint, but it definitely goes up to, I'm gonna even show you it because it's really interesting. I don't know if it's too bright in here, but you can see maybe that I have a very faint line that goes up to like here, all the way down from my nether regions. I didn't expect to get that line, but it's like, huh, okay, that's interesting. My belly button piercing looks funny. I've shared that many times on the vlog. Well, my belly button's like flat right now. It looks a bit bruised around the bottom. Here's the bottom hole, here's the top hole of that piercing. The skin right down here can look bruised, and also the skin around my belly can look kind of red or pinky. Just like there's a lot of blood flow and stuff right here. I haven't had any stretch marks yet. Have stretch marks kind of like on my hips/butts from when I went through puberty and my butt went from nothing to having a butt, but I haven't had any stretch marks on my like boobs or my belly. My hips are definitely getting wider. My butt's gotten bigger. My upper thighs below my butt, that area, it's just all kind of expanded and I feel like I'm holding weight there more than normal. And I'm trying to just tell myself that like your body creates like fat reserves and stuff while you're pregnant, but I don't like it and I wish I didn't have those fat reserves on my hips, but I do. So at 13 weeks, my hips measured 34.5. And at 27 weeks, so last week, they were 37. So they have 2.5 inches wider. But it's fine, it's whatever. I'm just taking it all in stride. I've gained around 20 pounds. I don't know what my pre-pregnancy weight was because I never weighed myself. 120, that's what I told her what I normally weighed. And so I'm at like 141 now, which is crazy. The most I've ever weighed in my life is 132. So that's been a really interesting thing to see that scale and see numbers that you've never seen, but you know it's for a good thing. You know it's for a positive thing and you know it's gonna happen. My skin and my hair have been doing awesome. My nails went through a chipping phase, but they're doing a lot better. I had a bit of a rash towards the end of my first trimester, maybe into the beginning of my second trimester. I can't quite remember, but it was really rashy around my mouth and I got some spots on my forehead. I sweat more and my BO is next level. Like my boobs are huge and I was like barely an A and now I'm like, I think I'm a C. It's fun having boobs. And the final thing in the body section is, can we talk about cervical fluid? Like I'd always heard it and like I'm chill with cervical fluid, so I'm not like grossed out and I don't mind it. I think it's cool if anything, but your body definitely produces more cervical fluid. And I would say it's much more like if you chart your cycle or if you know anything about like the differences in cervical fluid, a creamy, watery, lotiony sort of consistency. It's just your body's way of keeping out infection because you don't want any sort of infection to get in there because that's going to create a lot of problems. So let's move into my must-haves. First thing is this I got this a couple, maybe like 2 months ago for my mom. It's a exercise ball. My mom had one. I asked if I could borrow it. I just wanted to start sitting on it, stretch out my hips, bouncing on. It's supposed to be really good about like bringing the baby down and getting it into the right position. And if my hips are feeling tight or if anything is hurting, rolling around on the exercise ball really helps. So while I don't know if it was before or after we went to Phoenix, I got a sleep mask. I was having so much problems sleeping. Kind of sleep with like a pillow over my head. It's from the brand Lunia, but this thing is magical. Don't leave the house without it if I'm traveling. The other thing, it seems ridiculous, I got this at, I want to say 13 or 14 weeks from my friend, is a pregnancy pillow. I mean, you see these everywhere and everyone always recommends them, but seriously, like if you're having any sort of issue sleeping, my issue wasn't so much discomfort, but I tossed and turned so terribly. Like before I got the pillow from her, I'd lay on my side, I'd wedge a pillow behind my back, and I'd wedge a pillow in front of me so I couldn't rotate, and it was great. This one is the Leech Co. Everyone uses this one. It's like this shape and it's so great. I talked about this in a skincare video, the lotion, the moisturizer that I found and got, try to help with the eczema, or I don't know what was going on with my pregnancy dry rash. It was so red, it was so irritated, it was like flaky and cracky. It cracked over here to where it bled, and so someone recommended CeraVe and I got it, and it was almost like an instant change. But this stuff, it has just saved my skin because it was getting so bad. As far as like my belly and my boobs and things growing, I don't care if I get stretch marks. Like I think I'll probably be, you know, subconsciously bummed, but I'm so happy and excited to be pregnant and so grateful that bring it on, like I'm fine. But the two things I ended up getting to prevent stretch marks, like I know you can't technically prevent them, but my skin just felt so stretched at a certain point in the second trimester, and it started getting itchy that I knew like those were the signs that like my skin needed some love. I got the classic Palmer's cocoa butter formula massage lotion stretch marks, so I'll put that on my belly and on my boobs sometimes and on like my back and hips and stuff. And then the second thing is bio oil. This is another very popular pregnancy stretch mark sort of thing. Skincare oil helps improve the appearance of scars and stretch marks. And so I'll put this on, and then I'll put this on usually at night, and I don't do it every day, but if I'm feeling like super stretch or like itchy or anything, I'll put these two on. Another thing is some sort of icy hot cream. We have another one somewhere and I can't find it, but the other one that we just happen to have, I don't know how we even end up with this one, but it's deep blue rub and it has like an essential oil blend in it. I don't know if it's like hot or cooling, but it's like, you know, that tingly pepperminty sort of thing. I'll have Michael rub this on my back, my lower back, or I'll rub it on my lower back. It makes it feel better. So I recommend something like that. This one is a random one and it's not like an all the time must have. Maybe it was 20 weeks along. I started getting a lot of just like upset stomach sort of things. Like I can't quite even remember. We were in Charlottesville actually, and I went and bought these Chewy Tums, and I just have those on hand in case I do get like an upset, like acidy sort of stomach situation in case of emergency sort of thing. I would highly recommend having snacks with you at all times. These have been my current favorite, the Luna chocolate cupcake bars. If I know that I'm going to be out and about and maybe not have access to food, I throw something like this in my bag just to have on hand, because I find that when I get hungry and when my stomach gets super empty, that's when I feel nauseous. And so if I ever do get those hot flashes / nausea, I have to put something small in my stomach. If I'm at home, I'll have like avocado toast or some fruit or something just to get something small in my stomach. But if I'm like out and about, having some sort of bar is great. Water. Some sort of water container. This is from my friend's bachelorette weekend last summer. I mean, it's plastic, it's not the greatest sort of thing, but and this is a straw that is really nice, and so I will just, you know, continuously fill this up. I get that bubbly flavored water from the grocery store, and I'll put like a third sort of situation of that in, and then fill the rest up with water just to give it some flavor, because I get so bored with normal water, and I find that I drink so much water if I have like a little bit of flavor in it. Some clothing items. So the first thing is the Lululemon Align leggings. I just punched myself in the neck. So many women swear by these through pregnancy, and I wish I would have not got maternity leggings and just got the second pair of these sooner. So I have these in a size 4 and a size 6. I think these are the size 6. But there's something about the waistband that is just so stretchy and wonderful that it will literally stretch with me throughout the entire pregnancy, and then I can wear them again after pregnancy. And I don't necessarily, I'm not going to do that with the maternity leggings I got, but I was like desperate when I got the first pair because nothing was fitting and I was so frustrated. Get yourself a nice pair of stretchy leggings. And then a recent addition that I wish I would have gotten sooner is, like I said, I used to have no boobs. Size A, maybe. Now I have huge boobs. I had maybe 2 bras that I would wear. One of them was a sports bra, one of them was like a lace bralette. With the sports bra, before I got pregnant, I liked the ones that had, you know, a couple inches of fabric underneath, but now that extra fabric, because of my belly, gets bunched up and then it's tight and it's just bunched right here and it's not comfortable. So I got, just like a week ago, 2 of these bras from Lululemon. They're just stretchy. I got them in the bigger size, so I got a size 6. So I got this lavender color and I got this green color. I was holding off to get nursing bras and I was like, right, I don't need them yet. I'm just gonna wait. I'll just suffer through with the bras I have, but I should have gotten these sooner because these will be perfect. I'm not gonna do it, but you can just literally whip your boob out like it's stretchy enough here. These can be nursing bras when the time comes, and that's great. And I wish I would have known that sooner and realized that sooner because it would have saved me. I think those are my must-have so far. 2 apps that I have on my phone, the classic, you know, pregnancy tracking app I have, it's called The Bump. I just recently got a kick counter app, and so I tried out first Count the Kicks, but my phone is an old piece of crap, and so it doesn't load very fast. And so I got, it's called Baby Kicks, and just literally something to like track your kicks every day. You're supposed to start doing that at 28 weeks. Find yourself some hip opening stretches or exercises. Do squats, strengthen your legs. I haven't started taking any pregnancy classes. All those are in June for some reason. I'm trying to get my mindset around birth and labor in a good place. We are overwhelmed with horror stories and a certain type of labor and birth that we kind of like instill those things in the movies and the TV shows. Like, it's traumatic. Women are screaming. I'm not going into it naive thinking that it's going to be pain-free and it's going to be perfect. I think it's so beneficial to read positive birth stories, to see actual natural births rather than the ones that are in TV and movies. To just do what you can do with like meditation, affirmations, to get your mind in the right place to where you can realize that birth and labor does not have to be traumatic. My body is capable of doing this. So many women before me have given birth. Trying to go into it like can be a very positive, beautiful thing. Like, I've always been really excited for the actual labor aspect of being pregnant and birth, but it's making me even more excited to experience it, to experience the contractions and all of that sort of stuff. And it's not to say that, like, while I want to try for a natural birth and to not use any pain medication and to just let my body do its thing, like, I know that things happen. I know that things that come up. I'm very open and flexible, but I just want to go into it with like, I know my body can do this, and I'm going to give my body the best chance to do this that I can. My overall thoughts of the second trimester, I have loved it. What everyone else has said has been true. I know not everyone has a great second trimester, and I'm sorry if you're not having a great second trimester. Didn't have the worst first trimester either. I had like a little bit of morning sickness. I never threw up, but I was just exhausted, and I definitely got my energy back in the second trimester, and I've learned to manage it better to where I've accepted naps. And so I'm like, I'm just gonna take a nap, and I know I'm gonna feel better, I'm gonna function better, because if I try to push through, nothing good is going to happen. You have a bump and people start to notice it, and people are really nice to pregnant people. And I've gotten so many compliments of like, you're the cutest pregnant lady, or like, your bump is so adorable, and I'm like, thank you. I'm getting really excited for the whole aspect of like labor and birth. I've started like daydreaming about like, where am I gonna be when I go into labor? How am I gonna labor? That is kind of my second trimester recap, as well as some of my must-haves. I'm loving pregnancy. It's great. It's the coolest thing ever. I'm so grateful for it. Thank you so much for watching today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more of me, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.